sound for dancing, yeah! Hello there. Haven't made a video once again in a while. I do that a lot, so yeah. I think you can take note that I have piercings on my face. Those are new. I didn't record it because it was painful, and I didn't want to have to edit a video of someone stabbing needles into my face area head. Just be aware that it's painful, and I got them done. This is actually a video about the whole SOPA, Pipa move, whatever. I don't know how to say things. I feel like I should say something since I want to be civically engaged or whatever. Also, it's kind of a big deal on the internet, and since I'm on the internet, I feel like I should have a opinion. If you don't know what it is, I don't know how you cannot know when you're on YouTube, but, you know, if you don't, it's basically they want to censorize everything. They want to censor everything on the internet. And this is a US law. And this is my problem with it. I mean, yes, I'm kind of against them censoring everything, and it's like, oh, don't get away make a video and my Tumblr and blurdy blur blur blur. But there's a much bigger issue than that. I mean, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to, like, help children be able to develop correctly and not be exposed to, like, a bunch of shit. But it isn't our decision. Like, the US can't say no one is allowed to use the internet. We can't pass a law that affects the globe. That's not how it works. Like, if they're gonna pass a law like this, it needs to be taken to the UN, not the American voting system. And they're taking down all these sites. The US is. Even though, like with Mega Video, some of the people that worked on it weren't in the US. They're out of the country. And yet we could arrest them? We could do that? I feel like that shouldn't be allowed. I feel like the US is taking control of something that isn't theirs. Like, I can understand you want to censorize your school, maybe just, like, the US internet can't do certain things. I feel like if they're gonna do something like this, they need to think about it more. They need to get votes out of different countries if they want to censor, like, everything. Or just have it be if you're connecting through a US Wi-Fi. Even though I'm really against them taking away my internet, it would make much more sense if they did it that way. I mean, I have a problem with the whole censoring everything, because it's the parents' fault for letting their kids on the internet. That's how I feel about video game violence, that's how I feel about the TV violence. It's the parents' fault. They're the ones that should be controlling what their kids are seeing, doing, listening to. It isn't, like, sure, I mean, we shouldn't be posting all these bad things because children can see it, but freedom of speech allows us to do that. And it's the parents' jobs to keep kids away from people like us who cuss on the internet and who post naked pictures. I don't do that, but, you know, some of you crazy porn people might do that. It just doesn't make sense for them to think that this is a good idea. And then, okay, so indefinitely, it got put on the shelf recently, and then they're bringing a new one out, like, it's the same thing, but called something different, and, like, has some few specific things differently. They're gonna just keep trying until people start speaking out louder. And there are the anonymous that are like, oh, we're gonna take down everything, and we're gonna fuck everything up. And I'm like, okay, cool, anonymous. Thanks for being helpful. You're just instigating. I can say words. I mean, the more that they fight back, the more the government's gonna try to prove that they can control us. Until people start arguing, not just running around taking things down and being dicks. We should be talking, we should be communicating and signing petitions, getting involved in our, like, community, whatever, communicating community. They go together. And just getting the voice out there. Not just taking shit down and being like, oh, we're rebelling. Have some backbone, have some, like, reason for why you're rebelling, and not just because I can and because the internet. You should have, like, background, and if you don't have background, research it. And if you don't feel like researching, just listen to someone speak. People are being really naive to this and really dumb about how they're acting out and how they're getting their opinions out there, and it just isn't the right way to do it. Like, there's protests. I mean, Occupy is pretty cool, but I don't know. I just, not that I am completely against it, but I kind of have a problem with the Anonymous's, like, idea of how they should get this done, because it's not going to get us anywhere except for farther into a shithole. People in the hallway are screaming. That's really distracting. Anyway, yeah, that's my cool little video about this. Just, I don't know, educate yourself on it. Knowledge is power. Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. I'll see you some other time. It was too serious of a video, so now I have to loosen it up.